Happy Halloween, y'all. Welcome back to 3 Star Draw. I'm down south 77, aka 3 Star Draw, and this here is an adult collector channel where we're usually talking G.I. Joe, mainly classified because that is the main thing I like to collect. Every now and then, though, we'll look at other stuff that I like as well. But today is Halloween. It's Halloween right now. Might not be Halloween when you're watching this, but I assure you, right now it's Halloween. So if you're watching it later, hope you had a happy Halloween. What better figure to show off and do a review on Halloween than number 170, the Cobra Ghost Viper and Dire Beasts. Dire stands for Dread Inducing Responsive Energy Beasts. Fantastic beasts, and where to find them? Apparently in Crystal Ball's head, scaring the crap out of people that he's interrogating. I almost passed on this set because I am cutting back. I'm just the prices. These prices have gotten cray cray, so I am cutting back on stuff. And I almost passed on this set because I looked at it. I'm like, is this something that I really need? However, the supernatural stuff I really like, and this stuff, though it is technology based, it is a supernatural tinge to it. I love what they did with Crystal Ball, and these guys are basically Crystal Ball's army. I don't see how you can have the update of Crystal Ball and like it and not have or want these guys. So I decided to go ahead and I ordered a couple of them at Walmart. Fingers crossed that I actually got them, and they did. I was able to get them from Walmart, and I gotta say, I'm glad I went ahead and ordered them and that they filled it because, spoiler alert, I've already got one open. So this is an amazing figure. Now we're gonna go through and I'm gonna talk about it. And I'm gonna show you guys some pictures of it. This is probably the best reuse that Classified has done yet. Now the question is, what's going on with the price on this figure? Because it's a figure and pet set. They're $45 US, right? Well, when we first saw this guy, it had gone up to $55. I was wondering, is that a new price point for figure and pet? Or is it just for this set? Because there's a lot, even though it's a lot of reuse, there's a lot of new stuff. And I know you can't really see it very well because of the glare right there. There's a lot of new stuff in here that I don't know how in the world they're going to get any reuse out of some of this stuff. But I also said that about timber. So, we'll see what happens down the road. So, $55. Then that morning that it actually went up, it's $55 at Walmart. I wonder how many people went to Pulse and ordered it before they realized that it was $63, $63 on Pulse. Yeah, what's up with that? And then it was still 55 at Walmart. I went to Walmart, ordered it first at Walmart because it actually went up early at Walmart, almost 5 minutes early. And so I didn't even try to order it at Pulse. But Walmart still had it for the $55 price point. They have since raised it to $60, which is weird. It's a flat $60, not $59.97. It's showing up as $60 on Walmart's site. Now, I'm going to show you stuff. I'm going to talk about it. You've already heard me tell you a little bit about how much I like this set. I'm going to leave it to you. We'll see if I can sell you on it to see if you think it is worth $60 or $62, because that is getting on up there even for a lot of the stuff that you get with it. And I can see this as being an easy pass for a lot of people, but I for one am glad I picked it up. So let's go ahead and check this thing out because it's pretty sweet. I did mention I got these guys from Walmart. I got two of them, and they did send them to me in a box that's actually appropriately sized for two figures like this, as opposed to something that you probably could have shipped a Stinger in. So go ahead and check out the front of the box. There's how they come packaged in. Just you got your regular old or generic carbon fibery looking Hasbro box that they've gone to. Flip it around, look at the back over here. I do like this shot. It's got them walking down the street, just chilling, moving down the street, scaring everybody they see. That dumpster back there behind them. So maybe they're on the other side of the city as the snake armors that are destroying the city. Maybe they're on the other side the snake armors hadn't got to yet. And then we get our side over here with our QR code number 170. Of course, our QR code to nowhere, our blued out portrait of this, which is the other side. Got the neat artwork on it. I dig this where they've just kind of got the glowing, the fear. They got the extra and the new head sculpt all lit up. Like this thing's just terrifying. So if you saw these coming down the street, you definitely would probably freak out. I know I would. So when you go ahead and we slide him out of the package, this is how they come packaged in before you get everything out of the tray. So see, like just looking at it right there, you get a really neat mix of new and old right there, um, with everything as it comes out. And then the little snake is held in by a couple of our favorite little plastic ties. So you will need your snips to cut that guy out. He's got two of them holding them in there. So we'll get that out and we'll go ahead and lay everything out here. So this is everything that this guy does come with. Um, Lots of translucent. If you're a translucent fan like I am, then you will definitely dig this set. Now, I'm typically not the guy to point out all of the reuse in all of the figures. There's people that are way better at that than I am. But you will note that this is pretty much a Viper. Of course, not the head sculpt that I've got on it, and we're going to look at that. But this is the Viper. So the new Viper, the retro Viper. I've got some pictures here that will show comparing them from each angle, and this is all Viper with new paint. The only thing that's really different are the forearm guards, which awesome that they gave them the forearm guards from Techno Viper. I absolutely love that they gave him the Techno Viper's forearm guards. He's got one for each side. And you do have these pictures here on it, 75% power, of course done in the same color, the same translucency. So we know what the Viper body looks like. We've already seen that retro Viper. So I'm not going to go into depth on the sculpt and the detail and everything, but you can just kind of see what they did with the color palette, and the design choices really muted this figure down a whole lot. Um, and then, of course, they gave him his own insignias and things like that. So I really want to focus on the gauntlets that they did. So with the Techno Viper gauntlets, does have the translucent hose going across and going in. Actually, you can see it go in right there where it looks like it's running the power from the D.I.R.E technology from the Energon. And in my head, this stuff is all dark Energon powered. So, um, you know, do what you want in your head, but in my head, all this stuff is powered by dark Energon. So we do get the new head sculpt here. This is kind of a, I don't know, almost a alien looking head. To me, this head looks more like a cosmic legion from Four Horsemen. But you do have the hoses, same style hoses. It's on the wrist gauntlet running into the helmet. Got this nice gold here, and these black pieces over the face, and four eye holes. It kind of looks like a spider head. A little gold rebreather down here. Same on the other side. You got this gold rivet in the back here, bolt here, and then the vents back here in the back. So not the same helmet as the Viper that on this head. They sculpted a whole new head for this guy here, and this head fits very very loose. So I mean, I don't think I have a classified with another head that fits on this loose that is one that came with the figure, supposed to go with the figure. So you check him out there. Got some really awesome, um, the way they brought out some of the detail in it with the different colors. I mean, the Viper, the Retro Viper, is a fantastic figure, but this on its own probably would not be a very sexy figure. But when you add all of the accessories on this guy, that is where he really shines. So I'm going to set him down for a minute. We're going to look at the Viper head sculpt that comes with him. And I'm a little raspy. I apologize if that's coming off all funky sounding because I do have a cold right now. I've been fighting a cold for 2 days and I lost this morning. So this is our Viper head sculpt. You have the skull painted in there. Same head, except it is two-tone. You got this gray that matches the pants and the black, whereas on the Viper it's the solid blue. You got this gold ribbing over here on the side where they painted that. And I do have the goggles on the helmet. Same goggles, they're just nice and bright red. Now, of course, this is the main feature of this head sculpt, right? Is this awesome skull? It's like human but not human, printed in there, so anybody that's seeing this guy, this is what they're gonna see. And the plastic behind it in the visor is the translucent that everything else is done in. So they actually um, made the visor piece translucent, knocked the goggles off. They fit like the other Viper goggles. If they're down far enough, they'll stay on, but if you bump them, they're going to pop off of there. So, what we really want to focus on is everything this guy comes with. So, I'm going to start with on our Techno Viper, we had the readout, the digital readout we all like so much with the schematics. For this guy, you get these little flames, you get these little dire flames, and they plug in just like that. Of course, you can spin them around, but say you got your gauntlet reading 75% energy, and then you have these translucent flames shooting off of it. And he's got one for each side. I've had him posed with these on there. They stay in pretty well. I think this looks just freaking amazing. So I'll go ahead and pop these off right quickly. And let's see. Let's take a look at his backpack. So he does come with the backpack, and we've seen this one before. This one is reuse. I think it was this barbecues. I believe this was barbecue setup. So you've got the translucent tops on it. Looks like it's got stuff swirling around inside of it. I hope that shows up on camera. I don't know if it is, but when you look at it from the back, it almost looks like it's kind of cloudy inside of it. So, very cool way to reuse this. Does have the hose that fits onto it on the side over here. You got your peg, and oh, there it goes. Something's got to hit the floor. So the hose they actually did in the translucent. I thought this was a brilliant touch. Same hose we've been getting with everybody, the kind of ribbed for her pleasure hose, but it is this translucent, and I love the fact that they actually molded the hose in the flexible translucent. Now back to our backpack here, fresh from the floor. Hose does plug in like so. And I've had this hose plugged in, and it did kind of bend this peg a little bit once I had him holding this thing. But you know how these work. You just plug it in. It does fit over there pretty snug. And then he does have our same weapon. So flame retardant stuff for barbecue, but it is dire technology for our Ghost Viper. You're going to want to plug that in like so, and I'll put it on him, show you guys what it looks like with it on him. There we go, got that on that guy. So there's the hose wrapping around, and that's where it's starting to bend the peg up a little bit, is if you have him like he's drawing this thing or like he's using it. And he does have horizontal swivel um, pegs on his hands. So I think maybe if they were vertical swivel, you might be able to get some of the stress off of that. But I love the aesthetic when you start putting everything on this guy with the hose, the backpack, the hose that is on his gauntlets with the energon in it, and then the wrist guards he's got again on his helmet. The more you add to this guy, the cooler that he gets. So we'll go ahead and pop one of those. Attempt to pop one of those on the wrist guard. And they are like they are on Techno Viper. They're a little loose. But once you add one of the flame effects to it, just looks really awesome. I feel like Oprah designed this guy. You get translucent and you get translucent. You get translucent. But you know what? I'm here for it. I like it. Pop that stuff off of him and we'll take a look at his weapons that he comes with real quick. So we hoped we'd never see these weapons again, right? These were the futuristic weapons from the beginning of the line. We got the um, Cobra Island Troopers weapons, and I think this one come with the Trooper or the Infantry. I don't remember which, but we saw it way back then. It's got this ridiculous peg on here, which I actually didn't try to see if these will fit. So they will fit in there. I don't know why you'd ever do that. I just thought to try it. Um, with this guy though, these weapons actually work. It's kind of like giving it to Twilight Guard. It kind of works for this figure. So here's the and no blast effect port on these because these were energy weapons. Again, it kind of works for this guy. And then over here, he's got the sniper rifle that we love or hate it. It's kind of hard for him to hold, although he can get a good pose with it. He looks pretty wicked with it. Same thing, no blast effect port. This was an energy weapon. This pistol, though, so dig the pistol. Check out the grip. It has a skull embroidered in the pistol grip. I didn't notice that at first, but I think that's awesome. I don't think we've seen this before. If we do, I don't remember who had it. But I thought that was sweet that it has a skull. The only thing that could have made that any better would have been if the skull was translucent too. So there's some of his stuff. Oh, the backpack peg also because it's tart part of the tanks. So the backpack peg is done in translucent. Now, how does the backpack fit in there? About like it did on barbecue. So it does fit, it will stay, but it's easy to bump it and turn it sideways, and eventually it'll work its way out of there. But it is much softer plastic than what barbecues was. My original barbecue, the backpack, he fell over because that figure's terrible. The peg broke off in his back, and I can't use his backpack. Let's get into some of the really fun stuff that this guy comes with now. So we get our snake. They got a snake, man. I can't even do that because of my voice. So it says Serpentor snake. Seen this before, but here again you got your teal translucent going up into where he's materializing like he's real. Red eyes on it. Looks really good for what it is. I mean, I like it. I like Serpentors, but I like this one even more. It's just pretty funky. Um, so this is what I mentioned that's on the back of the box down here, down here. So you don't get a good look at this on the back of the box. It looks like just mush. So this is what actually plugs in to his barbecue gun, and at the end of it is a skull. Make that out. So they actually sculpted a skull into this blast effect for the dire energy. It looks great. It's a really well sculpted skull too. I don't know if the light will catch it well enough to make it kind of glow there, but it looks really good, and it's not super flexible. It's not completely rigid, but when you start getting to back here, you can move it. Now, all of this together on the shelf with him holding all this, it's kind of heavy. I don't trust that it's not going to start sagging. and it's not going to start weakening this connection back here. But if you're just going to use it short term, it all looks really good together. Now, one of my favorite things that they did that I wasn't sure how well I was going to like on this guy are these hands. These are absolutely amazing. They're sculpted so the left hand is the reaching out, grabby hand, and then the right hand is the pointer finger hand. These just big, long, elongated monster hands. They have fur sculpted in them, which, as you will see, does match something else that he comes with. And I didn't realize it at first. They actually have their own pegs. They actually have their own pegs on a ball system in there, so that you can actually move them around. And the other thing is, so we got the right one. So let's pull that off. Of course, you can pull the wrist gauntlets off if you want, but let's see, we said right one, didn't we? You move the peg that way, and you can pop that in there, and it's made to fit over the readout screen. Now, you can't use the flame, but it actually looks like the hose is powering this. So fantastic attention to detail on this. But I was kind of surprised when I realized that you didn't have to take the wrist gauntlets off to fit this on here. And the way it's molded is he can use it in any direction and look like he's actually pointing at somebody. And it does have the articulation in it, so you can move it a little bit. The one for the left is that way too. And pop those on real quick, because this is one of my favorite looks for this guy with that seated in there. So there's how he looks with those in there. It's very, very, very creepy. Not as creepy with that head, you say. So what about with this one? There, that's better. So he looks a little bit like Spooky Space Kook from Scooby Doo, which I'm fine with because Space Kook's awesome. But when you take these hands and we can put on this. This is the other one that he comes with. One of the other ones. So matches this snake. And this is the cobra head. Nice translucent tongue. Fangs there. Nice red eyes. So this does fit on him. Hear that pop. It does go down below the collar. So you can actually see down there. It actually does look like it's coming up out of his vest. It sets up really tall, but I mean it's a snakehead. I mean it's going to, but I think this looks awesome. Just this whole thing, this whole fear dire technology. But I mentioned that these are fur, kind of going up into these flames here. So the other thing that you get is this crazy werewolf head. So this is the one that's really freaky, I think. So this brand new sculpted head, it's crazy. I mean, it's a dire wolf, right? It's the wolf turning into the man. Nice red eyes. See it change right there at the snout, going back into the top of the snout. You can see the light. Hopefully, you can see the light shining through it. Doesn't take much to light this stuff up and make it glow. I mean, just you coming down the street at night and this dude comes out of the shadows and uh, awesome, awesome, fun figure. So I'm gonna set this guy down now. So we do get the dire beast. This is the wolf that he comes with. Timber reuse. Again, I didn't think I would need to see another version of Timber, but what they've done here, it's clearly not Timber, or maybe it's Ghost Timber. Old age finally got him, mange. Maybe he got the parvo. I don't know, but this isn't Timber for me, y'all. But again, the translucent fading up into the solid looks really good. It's more noticeable here because all the legs are translucent and the way they had to fit it together. It almost looks like the ocean, like when you see a part that's shallow hitting a part where it starts dropping off, or maybe there's just some seaweed. That's what it reminds me of. Not going to go over all of the articulation. It's the same as timber. I'm sure you guys have at least one timber by now. But they did do the nice red eyes on this guy. Very, very creepy effect, especially when you put on the angry face, you put on the bad boy face. So you got him, and then you got the Ghost Viper, both snarling. And they didn't just like scale this wolf head up to make this one. Like you can tell, this is a whole new thing. It's not even the same starting point. You look at the brows above the eyes and see that. So kudos to them for putting the work into this. This is a figure that I had no idea that I wanted or needed, but it is so much fun to change this guy around and set him up. I would like to get some more of these. Back to the price point, I can't get any more of these. Like, unless I do some trading or something. As much as I love this figure, they've just really been hitting us in the wallet lately. But if there was anything that's come out recently that I really want to army build, it's this. Even more than Desert Scorpion with the Scorpion, this guy with the dire technology Wolf, absolutely amazing. So when we got him set up like this, let's go back to our Viper, and now you don't even really recognize that's the same figure, right? Like it's completely detracts from, you know, like, oh, that's just a Viper repaints. Like, what the hell is that? So I really, really like this figure. I hope they make him more available, because once people kind of realize how awesome he is and how many ways that you can set this guy up, I think more people might be on board for him. So I hope that the availability on him increases and you guys are able to grab him if you haven't got one yet. So there is our Ghost Viper and Dire Beasts technology. I'll get some pictures to put on the end here. So what do we rate this guy? Like, I don't usually give reuse stuff a very high rating because it's reuse, right? But all of the effort that they put into trying to make this something else, um, completely turn this into something other than just another Viper. I absolutely love it. I can't. I have no faults with it, other than maybe the weapons, but they fit the character. This set for me is a 4.5 yeehaws all day. Absolutely love this set, and I hope you guys do too if you picked it up. I haven't really seen anybody that's got it have any bad things to say about it. So let me know, did you pick it up? Are you gonna pick it up? Let me know down in the comments if you like this or if you passed. Again, it's a pretty easy pass. I'll get some pictures and put on the end here. And guys, hit that like, that subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you next time on 3 Star Draw.